Hello there guys, welcome back to episode 30 of Total War Warhammer. We are currently working on trying to get rid of the last of the greenskins. Once we can get rid of them, then we don't really have to pay too much attention to our southern borders and we can just concentrate on moving up to the north. In the south, the greenskins actually only have a single settlement left, which is let me get this right, Karak Asgal, which we are moving in to attempt to siege out. I think we should be able to manage that. And then further to the north, I believe they just have a single one left here, which is actually, no, they've got two. They've got Grom Peak and they've also managed to take Zufbar as well. It's quite possible that Drakenhof may take Zufbar back, but we definitely need to try and take Grom Peak. Now, they did have another army around here somewhere. I'm not quite sure where they have gone, so we do need to keep our eye on those. If you want to try and get this army built up to strength, we are currently building a cannon up here. We've also got a unit of Slayers, which is rather mashed up. We probably do want to get another unit of Slayers in there. Or we could just go ahead and get some more Thunderers. We don't actually have any Thunderers in there. Let's go ahead and get a unit of Thunderers in there. We do want to save a little bit of money. At the same time, we also want to try and make sure that we don't have too much public order issue going on, especially down here where we are trying to build up some of these settlements. Public order does seem to be going up though, which is an incredibly nice thing, because it means we don't have to worry about getting rebellions down here anymore. But we do need to try and get everybody, all of our armies to the north, ready to deal with both the vampire counts and also dealing with the border princes, because we do have a few grudges to settle. Looks like we've still got some armies over here. Lots of the vampire lords are really spreading out. The human empires are in a little bit of a sorry strait because of the issues they had with chaos forces. So the chaos forces do seem to have mainly buggered off for the time being. Let's go ahead and hit next turn. I don't know where that army went up here. I think we wiped them out. I can't remember now actually. I think we may have wiped that army out. Greenskins don't have an awful lot left. They do have a few of their hero units roaming around the board, causing problems, you know, damaging buildings and stuff like that. But I really don't think they have an army to speak of. So they're really getting short on places to spring troops up from. So I'm going to start moving my armies from the south up to the north so that we can start pushing against the border princes. Try and get rid of some of these grudges and also try and get a little bit more money as well. One of the main problems we've got is we don't own an awful lot of provinces in their entirety. What's this one? Recruitment cost plus 100% for Slayer units. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, one of the problems that we do have at the moment is that a lot of the settlements down here are owned by the purple dwarfs, and I would like to try and confederate them at some point, though we're probably not going to be able to do that straight away. We've still got room in this army for one more unit. Now, what could we get up here that would be really nice? We could get dwarf warriors with great weapons. They could potentially be useful. We could also get another cannon. Let's go ahead and get, or we could get more Thunderers. Those Thunderers have been really good. Let's get more Thunderers. Okay, so we can pick another tech. We have mainly been working along the top trees at the moment. Things that give us more income. But now we're actually starting to make more use of those Thunderers. There were some things here that actually made Thunderers better. Gyrocopters and things we don't have at the moment anymore. Missile damage plus 10% for Thunderer units. Yes, I think that's going to be a definite take at the moment. I'd like that army to finish reinforcing before we consider moving over here and dealing with Grom Peak. Do we have anything over here that we can and should build? Do we have any unique buildings here actually? Let's see, what have we got? There's gold mining pit potentially. Doesn't look like there are any unique ones. I really do want to get an engineer's workshop somewhere. We also want to try and get a hangar somewhere as well. But I thought we were working on one of those somewhere. What were we working on in Karak? Probably this one. We were trying to go for the engineer's workshop. This allows us to get master engineers. We could also go ahead and get that monument there. But yeah, we could. What we should probably do, yeah, we want to build up the Pillars of Grugni, get the level 3 mustering hall, and then we can get rid of the mustering hall here in Karazakarak, and we can use that to build another higher level building. So we are going to have to save up a little bit of money before we can do that. We are sieging out down here, I believe was the plan. Are we sieging out down here? We are sieging out down here. But they've got quite a big army, to be honest. So we might just try and siege them out where we can. I don't think that army is going to sally forth, but you never know. And then we have a couple of armies down here. Now then, you don't really have any public order issues going on. You're currently getting +6 from the military presence, so we can actually move that army out of there. And I don't think that's a terrible idea. So we probably want to move you up to the north. So let's go ahead and move you there. Yes, you are going to get some attrition, but then you can survive up. Now then, it's definitely worth keeping this military here. It is a very, very small army, but it is giving us +5 public order from the military presence. And if we get rid of that, if we move them out, then that will start to drop into the negatives, which we don't want to happen. So I do need to try and find a way to get the purple dwarfs into the Confederation. We could try and save up a lot of money and bribe them with that. I don't know whether or not that will actually work. Maybe if we have stronger armies, they'll be a little bit more willing to do it. I'm not too sure how those modifiers work, but if we can confederate them, then all of a sudden we'll have control of a lot of full provinces, which will really help us with some of the bonuses. And hopefully with our income as well. So we've still got the Vargs moving around up there. So what have we got here? Foolish Vainglory. They say you would revel in victory. They say that you spend more time erecting monuments to battles past than managing your realm. They say you are a fool. We'll see who's the fool for war favour. So we further. So we get +6 leadership, or we can have reduced recruitment costs. Well, most of our armies are kind of fully reinforced at the moment, so we'll just take the war further. I think we'll take the leadership. Got Thunderer units recruited. Is that our army up here? How are we doing with you? You're still waiting 2 turns on the cannons, so that's fine. We'll wait for those before we do anything. Again, it's still saying that we've got stuff we can build. Now then, let us go and look. Pillars of Grugni. We said we wanted to upgrade this to rank 3, which we do. And in 3 turns, then we can get rid of the mustering hall down in Karazakarak. I think this is going to be quite safe. So I'm not worried too much about that. We need to start getting some of our top tier buildings now. Let us make sure that we keep moving up with our forces. So you are taking some attrition, or you will take some attrition, but that's fine. As long as public order's going up everywhere, I don't think we need to worry too much. So there are definitely going to be a few turns where we're just sort of hitting next turn for a while. Just while we shuffle some units around and wait for a couple of... Well, wait for 1 siege, really. This is the only siege we've got going on down here at the moment. Now, these heroes are a little bit annoying, but there's not an awful lot we can do about them unless we want to try and assassinate those heroes. Now, I'm not too sure whether or not it'll count them as wiped out once all their settlements are gone, or whether we'll need to assassinate the remaining heroes as well. But I'm sure we will find out before too long. Now, obviously, we can't take any of these settlements from the humans. I mean, obviously, we can sack them and we can loot them. And we can raise them, but we can't occupy them, unfortunately.
Summon me if you dare.
Detected a force belonging to Scaling attempting to lay ambush. And the Varg are doing it as well. What have we got here? Teller of Tales. Is this something we've lost? This follower has departed and will no longer be of service to you. So we did have a follower that was giving us some increased public order and some reduction in vampiric and chaotic corruption, but that's fine. We don't mind that too much. Oh, minus 8% upkeep for Slayers. Income from iron mines, gold mines, and stone quarries. Very nice. So, what followers do you have? You have some Slayer units in your army, do you not? You do not have Slayer units in your army. At least one of our armies had Slayer units. I guess it's this army now is the only one that's got Slayer units. And it's only got 1, I believe. So you do have a Slayer unit there. And, yep, you've already got the Slayer ward there. Now, does that actually need to go on that particular army? Not too sure. We'll have to check that one out. Now, I think we need to get over here to Grand Peak. You guys are fully reinforced. Well, the Slayers still need another turn. I guess we can give them that. Belowen has gained a rank. So let's go ahead and assign that to you. So we've already got Foe Seeker. We could start moving into this next list of things here. Extra speed, weapon strength, melee attack, melee defense. Let's give you the extra speed. Being able to chase down the enemy is often very, very useful. Got some population surplus going on. But I think we do want to save up a little bit of money. What have we got down here that we could be building? We don't really want to upgrade that, I don't think. Let's go ahead and upgrade the gold mine. Or is that the iron mine? Iron smelter. We will go ahead and upgrade that. It'll pay itself back in not too long. So again, we'll just keep moving our armies forward. Yes, taking attrition. Knew that was going to happen. So we'll do a little bit of army shuffling. That's fine. Not too sure what he's doing with this guy. Not an awful lot with the look of things. So it looks like there's a fairly big war going on between the Vampire Counts and the Empire at the moment. Hopefully Chaos won't rear their ugly head too soon. Might give the Empire a little bit of a chance to recover. A lot of scaling and Varg units moving around up there to the north, which we kind of expected. Would be nice if the Empire could sort of muster their forces and drive them back, but I'm not terribly convinced that that's going to happen, so... Block army failure. Yeah, someone's trying to screw with us a little bit. They're just not having an awful lot of luck. So they will probably surrender at some point. So let's concentrate with getting stuff done up here to the north. So you guys should all be fully reinforced. Still wants one more troop for the Slayers, but I don't think we need that really. So let's go for our underway movement because it'll make it easier trying to get over here. So we are on underway movement. Let's start moving out, and then we'll try and get over... I don't know how we can get over there, actually. We'll have to try and see if there's an easy way in. Not sure how we get up there, to be honest. We might have to come around in this... They've actually got a lot more places up here now. They've actually got these 4. So they're actually gaining more ground up to the north, which is quite worrying. But again, once we've got rid of them in the south, then we can just move everybody north and try and sort of come at them from both sides, really. So that's kind of the plan. I think they're also at peace with the Vampire Counts, so they're not really attacking them. Obviously, the heroes can go around and damage buildings and try and sabotage armies and stuff like that, but they can't retake any settlements, so I don't have to worry too much about the heroes that are wandering around. They can cause me some problems, but we shouldn't lose any ground due to them being around, so... Of course, they could raid... Well, they can't raid, but they can cause public order or public disorder in the case of enemy heroes. So we would like to try and get rid of them as quickly as we can. Scaling still moving units around. That sounds like another settlement being raised, and indeed it was. Hopefully we will get some sort of battle on this video. Block army success. It's trying to block Christopher Lowe's army. So that's basically the army that is sieging down here. But we are still sieging. Red Fang Rebels. That's not a very big army. So yeah, you just do what you want. If you want to attack, then you try and attack. So, did we actually finish that? We did. So now we've finished that, we can go ahead and demolish that building. Get rid of that now. We don't need it. If we upgrade this, we can get cannons and thunderers. We've already got one of these somewhere, but having another one, upgrading it to level 2 is not a bad idea. But there again, we can get gyrocopters and iron drakes and gyro bombers and flame cannons. So we might get rid of that and build it here. Build the siege workshop here. So I don't know what we're going to have here in its place. Let's go ahead and get rid of that as well for now. Now then, this army, can we get you over here? We can get you close, actually. So let's go ahead and move you there. So you are nearly in position. Now then, we do have this army that we were moving north. You're not quite there yet. And you have taken a bit of attrition, so we will allow you to repair slightly. We could go and get that mason, so let's go ahead and do that. And we could upgrade you to rank 2, so let's do that. We'll spend some of our money. Githian has a unspent skill point. You are in which army? This one, I think.
Let us begin.
Let us go and give you that skill point. Now then, what are we going to do with it? Rune of Preservation. Wound recovery time -1. That's not bad. And do we really want any of this stuff? This is mostly campaign map stuff here, which we're not really using him for all that much, I have to be honest. What about some of this stuff? Weapon strength versus greenskins, charge bonus, speed. Cooldown to runic abilities might be nice. They do use magic, the greenskins do, and the vampire counts definitely do. So being able to reduce their Winds of Magic reserve is going to be really, really useful, especially when we're fighting against them. So, yeah, that's not a bad idea, I don't think. So that army's arrived there now, so we can give them a little bit of time to recuperate slightly. Still got this guy sort of marching around. Can't really do anything unless we're willing to hire another hero just to go around and try and assassinate theirs. But the problem is if we hire a new hero now, he'll be really low level and we'll have very little chance of succeeding in doing that. So not something that we'll be really bothering with until we can get rid of a lot of their settlements. But once we get rid of the one to the south, it will make life a bit easier for us. We'll have to then have a little bit of a fight with the border princes. We do have a grudge with them that we definitely need to get sorted out. Considering Scaling and Varg have quite a few units moving around, they don't appear to have an awful lot of territory, so I don't know why the Empire is struggling so much against them. Powder Maker, recruitment costs for artillery in the local region reduction. That is nice, but let's get ourselves up here. We want to attack this. Want to make sure we've actually got the the entire army selected. We need to take you out of the underway stance and move you in here. This is really, really easy one, so we're just going to auto-resolve this. It is a decisive victory. We get ourselves a small amount of gold that is not worth mentioning. Didn't quite level up, unfortunately. No equipment with the look of things. So we could loot and occupy it for 3,000 gold. I don't really think we need it. We're just going to occupy it because we don't want the public order penalty everywhere. We have attained complete control over this province. Fantastic, because what that allows us to do now is go and set a commandment. So we could get a reduction in corruption and public order, which is not a bad thing. Let's go and... yeah, let's go ahead and do that one, actually. Especially as we are going to be so close to the vampire counts. It's probably the best option, really. Over here, we can now work on... because we don't really need that. I don't think so. We want... what do we want to get? We wanted to work on the siege workshop, so that's fine. So we can get something down here, something that doesn't mind being low level. We could go and get a Slayer Shrine. That wouldn't be a terrible idea. Don't really think there's any point in building up the garrison there. We could try and get some additional growth, or we could work on the trading depot. That might not be too bad of an idea. Let's just get a trade depot there. I'm starting to feel that Slayers are losing their edge at this point as well. Extra missile damage from Iron Drakes and an extra 5% range from Iron Drake units. Well, we're not using any of those at the moment. Cheaper gyrocopters. Well, we haven't got any of those yet either. Missile resistance for artillery. Let's have a quick look again at the sort of campaign tree. Additional... Venerate the Ancestors Commandment, an additional 1 reduction to Vampiric and Chaos Corruption. That could actually be quite useful. But an extra +2 public order in all provinces is just going to be useful across the board. So I think we will take that one. I think we've got time for one more turn just before we end the video. Sven Kandoom has an unused skill point now then. Sven must be the new guy that we hired down here, and I wasn't sure whether or not we were going to keep. You are indeed Sven. So you have a skill point. And, what do we want to give you? Let's go ahead and give you full plate armor as well. We'll make you a bit of a melee guy. Have I got any of the patron supporters whose names I've not got used yet on you? Let's have a quick look. Where's my units list? Forces. So we've got Belowan, we've got Githian, we've got Christopher. So Sven. That was the wrong button once again. We will rename you. And you are going to be Kenneth Owls. There we go. I'm trying to make sure I get everybody's name in where I can. A few more people that we still need to add, but we'll get around to those as we get some more. I didn't rename this guy at the start because I wasn't necessarily sure he was someone that we were going to keep around. And I haven't renamed the Legendary Lord because, of course, you know, Thorgrim Grudgebearer, he's the Legendary Lord for the Dwarves, so we don't want to rename him just yet. But I think actually that is probably a good place to end the video. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you're still enjoying Total War Warhammer. Apologies that there wasn't actually a battle in this video, but that's the way of it sometimes, you know. It is a strategic game as well as the tactical battles, and sometimes you do just have to manage the map a little bit. But we are getting into a good place to be able to start fighting the Border Princes, and I'm actually quite looking forward to doing that just as soon as we have got rid of the greenskins for good. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next video, and until then, goodbye for now.